Good day, everyone. Sir Jesse and I are tasked to report Chapter 3, The Management Function.
The topics are decision-making need to decide on steps to effective decision-making, communicating importance in decision-making, improving communication in organization.
To give you the introduction, management is essential for an organized life and necessary to run all types of organizations. Managing life means getting things done to achieve life's objectives, and managing an organization means getting things done with and through other people to achieve its objectives. Achieving objectives in an organization may not be easy as conflicts arises. Considering steps on effective decision-making is essential. In that way, any conflict will be addressed properly, and that would lead to harmonious relationship among members of an organization. What is management? Management is the coordination and administration of tasks to achieve a goal. Such administration activities include setting the organization's strategy and coordinating the efforts of staff to accomplish these objectives through the application of available resources. Management can also refer to the seniority structure of staff members within an organization. What is decision making? It is the process by which a course of action is selected as the way to deal with a specific problem. Here are steps of the decision-making process. The first one, identify the decision. To make a decision, you must first identify the problem you need to solve or the question you need to answer. Clearly define your decision. If you misidentify the problem to solve, or if the problem you've chosen is too broad, you'll knock the decision train off the track before it even leaves the station. This step involves understanding what the decision is about and why it is important. The second one, gathered relevant information. Once you have identified your decision, it's time to gather the information relevant to that choice. Do an internal assessment, seeing where your organization has succeeded and failed in areas related to your decision. Also, seek information from external sources, including studies, market research, and, in some cases, evaluation from paid consultants. In this step, you need to collect relevant information and data that are necessary to make an informed decision. This way, you may involve research, analysis, and consultation with experts or stakeholders. The third one, identify the alternatives. With relevant information now at your fingertips, identify possible solutions to your problem. There is usually more than one option to consider when trying to meet a goal. It is important to brainstorm and consider a range of alternatives. Example, if your company is trying to gain more engagement on social media, your alternatives could include paid social advertisements, a change in your organic social media strategy, or a combination of the two. The fourth one, weigh the evidence. Once you have identified multiple alternatives, weigh the evidence for or against said alternatives. See what companies have done in the past to succeed in these areas, and take a good look at your organization's own wins and losses. Identify potential pitfalls for each of your alternatives, and weigh those against the possible rewards. In this step, you need to assess the risk and benefits, or evaluate both positive and negative associated with each alternatives. You need to consider different factors such as risks, costs, feasibility, and impact on stakeholders. The fifth one, choose among alternatives. Here is the part of the decision-making process where you actually make the decision. Hopefully, you have identified and clarified what decision needs to be made, gathered all relevant information, and developed and considered the potential paths to take. You should be prepared to choose. In this step, you need to select the best alternative or solution based on the information and analysis conducted. It may involve consensus building, negotiation, or simply making a judgment based on the available information. The sixth one, take action. Once you've made your decision, act on it. Develop a plan to make your decision tangible and achievable. Develop a project plan related to your decision, and then assign tasks to your team. Seventh, review your decision. After a predetermined amount of time, which you defined in step 1 of the decision-making process, take an honest look back at your decision. You may ask, did you solve the problem? Did you answer the question? Did you meet your goals? If so, take note of what worked for future reference. If not, learn from your mistakes as you begin the decision-making process again. The last one, learning from experience. Reflect on the decision-making process and outcome. Identify lessons learned and apply them to future decisions to continuously improve decision-making skills. So those steps provide a structural approach to decision-making that help to ensure thoroughness, clarity, and effectiveness in making important choices.
My topic is the importance of communication in an organization. What is communication? The universal meaning of communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, and feelings between individual or group. In organization, communication is important in decision making because it allows for clear and effective exchange of information, ideas, and perspective, leading to better informed decision. Effective communication ensures that all relevant stakeholders are involved and able to contribute their insights and expertise, fostering collaboration and consensus building. It also helps to avoid misunderstandings, conflicts, and misalignment among team members, promoting a more efficient decision-making process. Overall, communication plays a crucial role in decision-making by facilitating the flow of information and creating a shared understanding, ultimately leading to more successful outcomes. What is organizational communication? It is a term that refers to all communication that goes on within an organization. This means communication can occur in various forms and channels, both formal and informal. Strategies in improving organizational communication. The first strategy is provide the right tools. First and foremost, you must provide your employees with tools to communicate. Today, people want to communicate at work like they do in their private life. That includes instant messaging platforms, which make it easy to reach people within organization. Accor- According to research, an instant messaging found that 82% of employees want their communication to be streamlined through a single app. Moreover, 45% of respondents believe that it's difficult to get fast responses via email. In other words, one of the best strategies for improving organizational communication is simplifying it. The next strategy is be open and transparent. Honesty is the best policy, right? This is one of the most important rules of successful organizational communication. In other words, you need to share bad news too. Employees today are not oblivious to what goes on in a company. Unfortunately, many leaders still believe that they don't need to share strategic information with employees. It's quite the opposite. Transparency increases trust towards company leadership. The third strategy is listen to what employees have to say. Upward communication is just as important as downward organizational communication. Employers need to know how their employees feel and think. That's why it's crucial to empower employees to speak up and regularly conduct employee surveys. As a matter of fact, try asking your employees about what they're bothered with regarding internal communication. Do they feel like they're missing out on company news? Do they get the responses from colleagues on time? This will help you identify pain points in your current workplace communication. Next strategy is facilitate frequent feedback. Feedback is essential to employees. Research shows that 65% of employees want more feedback to make sense of their work. Feedback is not only important as a tool for employees' growth and development, it allows managers and their team members to state their opinions on each other's work clearly. That is a great way to enforce transparency, constructive criticism, and respect, which are all important aspects of communication. For example, by embedding these practices into the daily workflow and fostering a supportive environment, frequent feedback on become a powerful tool, continuously improve and employee development. The next one is diversify communication. Has anybody heard of the phrase, this meeting could have been an email? As mentioned earlier, organizational communication can be endangered if communication channels are limited. Leaders need to enable employees to use chat, email, and online meetings. Furthermore, everybody needs to know what situation requires which channel. The next strategy is organized team building activities. The more you hang out with someone, the easier it is to understand them. It's no different in the workplace. Employees that spend time together outside of work communicate better. So in other words, it is a good idea to organize social gatherings and team buildings activities. It will not only help you improve organizational communication and collaboration, but also lift employees' morale. Why is organizational communication important? Organizational communication is crucial for several reasons. First is enhanced coordination and collaboration. Effective communication ensures that everyone is in the organization is on the same page, which facilitates coordination and collaboration across different departments and teams. Next one is improved decision making. Third, employees' engagement and morale. Four, conflict resolution, building trust and relationship, and adaptability and change management. Overall, organizational communication is foundational to smooth operation and success of any organization, impacting every aspect from daily operation to long-term strategic planning. That ends my report. Summary.
Management is essential for an organized life and necessary to run all types of organizations. Managing life means getting things done to achieve life's objectives, and managing an organization means getting things done with and through other people to achieve its objectives. In a certain organization, conflict will surely arise, but then, familiarizing those conflicts will help to come up with an effective decision making.
In addition, effective organizational communication is essential for many reasons. For one, it enables employees to collaborate successfully that would sustain good relation among the members.
That's all for the topic assigned to us.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
watching
watching
this
this video
video and
and
God
God
bless
bless
us
us
all.
all.